Hey guys, and welcome back. In our last video, we made our first program, Guess Game, which was modeled after the Guess a Number Between 1 and 10 game. Now, it was pretty juvenile, and it could definitely use some basic improvements. One thing I noticed, I don't know if you caught it, if you played around with your program, if you accidentally hit a letter instead of a number, it came back with a value error. Alright, so this is something that is catchable and that we should definitely do in our program. It's always good to catch bugs. Also, other than that, there are several simple things that we can do just to make the game more fun. So let's go ahead and copy all of this code, Command copy, and I made a new file called guessgame2, and I'm going to print it here. Now, you can do it in the same file. I just like having separate files to see the progression I make in my code writing. Alright, so for the first correction, we need to accept value errors. So, accept value errors. What else could we do to improve the program? Well, I don't know about you, but I think all games should have the chance to lose, not always win. And so far, if we guess incorrectly, it just keeps asking us to try again. So let's have a way to lose. Way to lose. How can we do that? Well, we can limit the number of guesses. Limit the number of guesses. Alright, and because we're limiting the number of guesses, let's have the computer tell us if we guess too high or too low. So, let's have it direct us if too high or too low. And also, instead of just closing if we win, let it ask us if we want to play again. So, ask if we want to play again. Alright, let's get started with these corrections. First one was accept value errors. So how can we do that? Well, let's go down here. Where would the value error be? It comes into play whenever we guess a number between 1 and 10 and if we input something other than an integer. So, let's ask us to try something first, and because we're making a new block, all of this should be shift over one unit or one tab. And to do that, we can hold Command and hit the close bracket button, and it will shift it all over one tab. If we do the open bracket button, it will shift it over in the opposite direction. But here we are. And first we need to try this. Try our guess to be an input and our guess to be an integer. But if it's not, we need to accept value errors. So accept value error. Both the V and the E are capitalized. And if we have a value error, what should we say? Let's just say print, and we'll say silly. Whatever you inputted is not a number. And then we will, of course, format this with our guess. Alright, now we need a way to lose, and we're going to do that by limiting the number of guesses we have. So instead of while true, let's say while our guesses is less than 4. Okay, and guesses will be a new variable, so let's define that new variable up here. Guesses, it needs to be something that can be added to, amended. So I know how to do that with blocks of code, so let's just make it an empty block. Just like this. And then at the very bottom of our code, in line with this else, we can say our guesses is amended, so a guesses.amend, and it's amended for every guess we have. And this will just add one guess to every time we have a guess, it will add it to this block of code up here. And whenever that's less than 4, it's safe. But if it's greater than 4, then we need to lose. So how do we do that? Well, let's get in line with our while block. Else, we'll print, no need to be subtle, we lost. So you lost. My secret number will remain secret. All right. Next we said, since we are limiting the number of guesses, we need it to direct us if we're too high or too low. So in our code earlier, we printed if our guess equaled the secret number or if it did not. So let's make some amendments right here. And we'll have it say if our guess was less than the secret number, then we can print, well, if it's less than the secret number, then we need to try higher. And the opposite is also true. Note that I'm using these else-if statements. Else-if statements follow if statements. They're basically the statements between the if and the else statement. That's the easiest way to know when to use them. Try, I want a capital T, try lower. All right, the last thing I said is let's let it ask us if we want to play again. So let's go down here. After print if we lost, let's create a new variable. We'll just call it play again. No need to call it something that it isn't. And play again, let's just have a simple input. Would you like to play again? And yes or no. The capital Y is an implied yes. So that means we can say if play again dot lower, we'll make all of our inputs lowercase. So if someone inputs a capital letter, it will change it to lowercase. If it does not equal, exclamation point equal sign means does not equal. If it does not equal our lowercase n, then we'll play our game. And if it does equal an n, else we can just print thanks for playing. Alright, this all looks pretty good to me. Let's save our code, Command save. Let's open up the terminal and see if we have any errors. Code making is all about finding errors, so if we don't, well, we just did a stellar job, but more likely than not, there are some errors you'll have to fix. Guessgame2.py is our program. Oh, looky here. Line 15. While guesses is less than 4, the less than is not supported between a list and an int. Alright, so we made our guesses an empty list and we amended it down here to add for every guess. But it doesn't count those per se, so our guesses is just a list. So what we need to do is we want it to count it. So let's make it the length of our guesses. Alright, let's see if that fixes it. Command save. Let's clear this up. Guess a number between 1 and 10. Alright. Let's see if our value error is caught. So let's try D. Well, this wasn't caught either. The lesson is not supported. Let's look. Oh, I think I see what's wrong with this. Let's close our terminal. If you see, all of our if, else, else statement, it's all in line with this print under the except block. Okay? We need this under a separate block of code. So under the try, in line with the try, let's have an else statement. So we're going to try this first. We're going to accept our value errors. But all this pending, else we're going to go ahead and do our game here. I think this will solve our problem. Command save. Open up terminal. Let's run our program. Guess game 2. Alright, let's try a letter. F. F isn't a number. Great, it worked. Let's do 4. You won! The secret number was 4. Well, that's great. Got it on the first try. Alright, let's do the last catch. Let's see if it will tell us if we lost. Would you like to play again? Yes, I would. Guess a number between 1 and 10. 1. Guess higher. We have a lot of feedback here. But it did tell us to guess higher. Try it one more time. Python game. Guess 3. Try higher. Let's look. File, guess game 2. Oh, all right. This might need to be tabbed over. Let's see if that fixes all this feedback noise we're having. Command save. Clear this up. Run our program. 4. Try lower. 3. There we go. Secret number was 2. Alright guys. That's it for today. I'll see you guys in the next video. Cheers.